Hey Maths Legends, today we're going to look at organising our data and collecting it and putting it into dot plots. It's going to be really important that we can actually interpret these graphs as well as draw them. Okay guys, so what we're going to be doing today is looking at dot plots and how to draw them, but also how to read the data or add to that data. So this first example looks at surveying a number of students around the school, and I went and asked them all the different homes that they've lived in. Now that might be a caravan, a unit, apartment, a townhouse, or just a normal house. And I found these statistics. So I found out the number of different homes that, like as in one, they only lived in one home, there was two different homes, there was 12 students, 3 different homes, 7, 4 different homes, 4, 5 different homes, 0, and 6 different homes, 3. Now you can see that I've then drawn a line across the bottom, and I've put those different home options, the number of homes, on the bottom. So you can see the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is what I did. I said, right, how many people told me that they lived in one home? And you can see here that I had 1 and I had 2. Same with 2, it said 12. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on. So what the dots represent is the amount of people. Now you can see here how this is different to normal graphs, is that there is no y-axis. There's an x-axis but no y-axis. There are no numbers down the side. The dots go directly above each other with the same gaps between each other. So you should be able to very quickly count how many dots on each. This is very similar to a picture graph, which you would have done before as well. The only things that you need if you are drawing a dot plot, you will need your data, you will need an x-axis, you will need to label that x-axis, and you will need to make sure you have the title down the bottom, which is the number of different homes. Right, let's try one here where we need to add some information to it. So pretty much what happened, gents, is after I did my survey, I realized there was 4 students away in my class, James, Ed, Sam, and Luca. And they came and told me what happened, that they had been away and that they want to add to my graph. So what I ended up doing, gents, is I ended up saying, right, here's mine, here's a dot, go and put it onto that dot plot and show me that you know how to do it. So James said, well, so I lived in 2 different houses. So James went and put his 2 dots on top of the 2. So we added 2 more to the people who have had 2 different homes. Ed said, I've been on a caravan and I've had an apartment, so he have to add 2 more dots. And you can see I've gone a little bit over here. Now, if my dots were perfect, they should be exactly the same as all the other dots, the exact same. Now, you can see that I've tried. They're not 100% exact. Sam said, I've lived in 2 apartments, sir, 2 units, and 1 house. So if I add those up, 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. So that I have 1 person now has lived in 5 different houses. Now, it doesn't go on 1 on the 2, 1 on the 2, and 1 on the 1, because we know altogether he's lived in 5 different houses. And the last one was Luca, and Luca said, I've lived in 4 different houses, sir. So he added a dot right here. Now that changes my data. I can then see that there has been 2 people who have lived in 1 house. There is now 16 people who have lived in 2. There is now 7 people who have lived in 3, 5 that lived in 4, 1 that has lived in 5, and 3 that lived in 6. Okay, gents, so we now move on and we're going to have a look at how we're going to draw this. Now, I've done another survey for you, and this survey that I've done this time is I went around and I asked a whole lot of students how long they study for each night. And I gave them 6 different options, from 10 minutes to 60 minutes. And this is what my data read. The data read that the 4 people studied for 10 minutes, 5 for 20, 12 for 30, 1 for 40, 2 for 50, and 5 for 60 minutes. Now, you can see that I've already on this right hand side of your screen already drawn in my x-axis, and I've already put the correct distances between each of my marks to make sure that my intervals are exactly the same. Now what I need to do then is I need to then put down what my different options are. So my different options are 10, I'm going to make that a bit skinnier, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. I also know that I need to have a title down there for that one there. It says, you know, as minutes studied. So let's put minutes studied. And then all I have to do then is I have to put my dots going up my screen for each one. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 dots because of 4 students in 10 minutes. I'm going to do 5 for 20 minutes. I'm going to do 12 . 12 for 30 minutes. Now, you can see, gents, I've tried really hard to line all my dots up so they're exactly the same distances apart. Obviously quite hard without my grids, but it must be a lot easier for you guys in your maths books or when you're using your grid paper. 4, there's only 1. 5, there is 2. These ones are a bit quicker than that 12. And then 5 on 60. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. All right. Have I got my x-axis? Yes. Have I labelled my x-axis with the correct intervals? Yes, I have. Have I got a title down the bottom? Yes. And have I labelled my data correctly? Yes, I have. There are my 4 marks there, gentlemen. They are all done. Any questions that you have, please comment below or bring them to class tomorrow for masterclasses. If you want to have a go at this, gentlemen, get onto IXL. There are a number of different concepts that you could be trying.